Hello everybody and welcome to the West Ham Way YouTube channel. You already know who I am, despite only seeing the top of my head. I'm here with Max. Max, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm very excited to go through the fixtures with you today. It's gonna be a fun show, isn't it?
Yeah. Like I've tried to keep as far away from the fixtures as I could. Obviously, it was a bit tempting at 9 o'clock in the morning just to check. We haven't got Liverpool opening day of the season, but
I checked
yeah.
that, and then I was like, "That's all right then, as long as we haven't got Liverpool first game." Feel sorry for Leeds. I think Leeds have got Liverpool away first game, haven't they?
Do you know what, mate? I actually think Leeds will give them a game. To be fair, like I don't think they're
Yeah,
going to go up
they'll
there
be
and
up for it. They will be up for it.
yeah, no, 100%. I did an interview with All Leeds TV, and they were saying like Bielsa and like I was doing some homework on it, just like the overloads they do on teams. I think Liverpool are quite good defensively, but I think Leeds will cause them problems, and I don't think Liverpool looked that convincing last few games. I know they won the league by about 30 odd points, but still.
Yeah, but they sort of took their foot off the gas because they knew that they had it in the bag. But I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'd love to see Leeds go and smash them. I think that would be wicked. Or even if they got a draw, it'd be an amazing result. But
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. Yeah, it's gonna be a good season. I think. Like I think a couple of the teams that have come up, Fulham, West Brom, Leeds, they all play decent football. So it's always one of them ones when some teams come up and you go, oh god, it's gonna be awful. But
yeah,
I think we've got some really good teams in the league this year. So I think as a neutral, I'm excited.
I'm very excited to see how Grady Diangana plays against West Brom.
Well, mate, 100%. Like
I think
I'm
that's gonna
buzzing.
be
Like, yeah. No, I saw the training because obviously they're up in St Andrews at the moment, the squad, and obviously Grady there. I think Connor Coventry's there, Cullen's there. So they're looking at the young players. You'll be interested to see whether Moyes gets him in, or I think Diangana will be a near on to start. But maybe if we saw Coventry on the bench a couple of games this season.
Yeah, sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. I think I can't see us actually spending that much money this window, so we might be relying on them.
I I, mm, I don't know, mate. I don't think we need that much. I don't think we need to buy that many players. We just need to sort the attitudes out of a few, really.
Yeah, no, it's a good point, mate. Only thing I would say is definitely the fullbacks for me. Like I think Fredericks and Creswell were struggling last season.
But
I'd like us to see.
I think Creswell more than Fredericks personally, just because he's getting that bit older and he's not as nimble as he used to be, and I just don't think he has that consistency that you need.
Yeah, mate. It's like I'm with you on that with Creswell. I just think he's obviously past his best, and I just feel like he's a bit of a passenger in that squad. And there's too many games next season we can't afford for him to get cut up by Sterling or some fast winger again.
We need someone with a bit more oomph about him. He needs to. Yeah, we need someone there that's going to be able. We know we can put him there, and they've got that speed and agility to track back, and he just can't keep up with it. I thought last season he had a decent season, but this season it's just really shown, hasn't it?
Yeah, mate, it's caught up with him. I think he had a nice couple of games when he needed a new contract, and then all of a sudden slipped out of form again. So I don't know, maybe someone to put a bit of pressure on him next season would be great. But let's get into the fixtures. We could talk about transfers all day long with West Ham. So Newcastle, first game of the season at home, quite a nice one for the first time in about 6 years.
I think that's probably the nicest fixture we could have got, to be honest. I actually don't mind Newcastle. I think they're a decent team. I obviously optimistic, but I reckon we'll get that quite easily if we turn up.
Yeah, I think Newcastle did well last season. I think there were a lot of bad teams in the league, to be honest. I don't think they played brilliant football, but I think Steve Bruce got them organised. He had the little wild card in St Maximan, who I've seen him live and he's unreal. Like I know it was against Zabaleta, but what a player.
Yeah, he is class. But other than that, mate, who else do they have? I personally, I don't think they've got all that. I mean, what are they going to do? They've got Andy Carroll up front. What's he going to do now? Do you know what I mean? Like, I just can't see them doing that well next season unless they do some mad things in the transfer window. But I doubt that they will because they haven't really got the funding, have they?
Yeah. I've done a Premier League prediction video, and I actually think Newcastle will finish maybe 15th. Like, I think up front they're poor, like you say, with Carroll's obviously inconsistent, but Dwight Gayle, I don't think it's really cut out for the Premier League. Joel Linton's got about 2 goals all season, so
Dwight
nothing to worry.
Gale, I've always sort of never really understood why everyone's hyped him up so much, and I think he hasn't really proved himself, especially being at Newcastle. He's he should be quite a big fish in a small pond in that sort of sense, but I just don't think he's doing much.
Yeah, he's a weird one, isn't he, Dwight Gayle? Because he does well in the Championship. That's why teams take a punt on him. Inevitably gets 20 goals, gets promoted with him, and then they just never play him. I think it's a physicality thing with him. I just don't think he can adapt to the league.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so for me, I actually think we'll beat Newcastle. I don't think they've got enough quality to trouble us too much. I rate John Joe Shelvey. I think he's probably one of their better players.
He's a brilliant player. I can't take that away from him. But I hate that bloke. Like, I just think he just strolls around the pitch like such a thug. Like, he is a good player, but I was saying you just have those players that just annoy you. And he's just one of them.
I think I used to hate about every Wigan player, to be honest. So I kind of know where you're coming from. But yeah, no, I agree. Like, I didn't like him for a long time. He's one of them blokes. But yeah, I don't know. I just think when we saw him against us last time round, he scored that great free kick, albeit Roberto was one position right. Yeah. So I don't know, mate. I think we win that game.
I think we'll scrape it. I don't think it'll be a walk in the park. I think we'll be testing our waters a bit and sort of. I don't know. It all just depends, doesn't it? It depends what Moyes does and how he gets us ready. But I think, just quickly touching on it, sort of Antonio, he's got his confidence again. He's got that form, and he knows how good he can be. And so I think if he comes into the season sort of being Premier League Player of the Month, he will come in and he will just dominate and he will be hungry. And we know what he's like when he puts a shift in.
Yeah, no, mate, I completely agree. Like, he's on decent form. He obviously thrives when he's allowed that license to stay forward. I think he struggled in games when he's told to sort of move around a bit and sort of pick up the long balls. But when we saw when he was a little bit more central against your Norwiches and Newcastle's, he can score goals. And yeah, I think he's going to be a massive part for our squad this season.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, nice. So we will move to the next 6 fixtures, which are possibly the worst run of fixtures we could have. Seems like the Premier League did us a favour and then took it away very quickly. Any standout fixtures for you in those next 6 that you're worried about?
Obviously City and Liverpool, Leicester. Well, just all of them really, mate. October's going to be our worst month. We're going to get absolutely battered. We'll be like in the relegation zone, and then hopefully November we'll pull our finger out. I mean, I don't know if that's a bit pessimistic of me, but I'm hoping if I be pessimistic, then it will turn it around. I reckon. I'll give you my quick assumptions. I reckon Arsenal we'll lose to Arsenal because they've picked up good form recently. I reckon Wolves at home, hopefully a draw, maybe squeeze a win. Just as I said, that's Wolves at the moment is hard to sort of get a grasp on. I think Wolves is a very up and down team in my opinion. I quite like Wolves as well.
Yeah.
But I think that'll be a tricky one. I think Leicester I'm not sure about because Leicester started sick last season, but then obviously deteriorated, didn't they?
Yeah.
Went downhill, but they battered us last season. Tottenham, we'll get Spurs.
Of course we will, mate. Of course we will. Away at the toilet bowl. Perfect.
City and Liverpool, not much I can say about them personally. I rate both of them and think they are just sick. Like, what do you think?
You know what, mate? It's a tricky one. I think what counts against us a little bit is the away fixtures. I think that still has something to count for, even without a crowd. I think Arsenal looked quite impressive in the FA Cup last season, particularly against City and Chelsea. It'll be interesting to see how Arteta gets them going this season. I think if they keep Aubameyang. I think they'll improve. They're looking at Aouar from Lyon, who played the other night. It was brilliant. So, I mean, Arsenal are improving. I think it'll be a tricky one. Wolves at home.
They just signed Willian as well, didn't they?
Yeah, Willian as well. You've got Pepe to come back and improve. So, yeah, they're a tough side, Arsenal. They're a bit of a sleeping giant at the moment. I think Arteta gets them moving. You know, Wolves, I mean, we don't know with Wolves. They've just had a really long campaign. I know Nuno Santo keeps them moving, and I haven't seen a lot of activity in that transfer window. I feel like with Wolves, unless they strengthen anytime soon, it will catch up with them. I mean, I just can't see them, that train keep rolling where they're beating teams and they're very consistent. But they could surprise everyone and do it again. Yeah, mate, it's tricky. I'm looking at Wolves, Leicester, Tottenham to potentially pick up some points. Maybe Arsenal, but we do struggle against Arsenal away. I think we can beat Leicester. I know we struggle away at their place, but I don't think defensively they're that great. And I think Rodgers got unpicked a bit last season. I think we can hurt them with Antonio and Bowen on the counter.
Well, on paper, and people watching this are going to say this kid don't know what he's talking about. On paper, Leicester, when they compared to our squad, when we turn up, I think we've got a better squad in the set. But take Vardy and Ndidi out of it, I think we've got a better squad.
Oh, I don't know, mate. I don't know.
I don't know. I just think. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, I completely get your point. I know where you're coming from. I think you're saying
a few of their players are sort of like they're just sort of there. Like they're good, but they're just sort of there. Whereas I think that a lot of our players have got a lot more passion and stuff about us. Well, when we want to.
I get it. I know where you're half coming from. I think if West Ham are on song, I think if Allaire, Anderson, Rice are all in decent form, I think we cause them some problems. I think the only thing with Leicester is when they've got a fully fit team, I think they're probably one of the most balanced teams in the league. I think Vardy's quality. Maddison will come back into that side and he creates so much. Pretty much most attacking chances go through him. Defensively,
Maddison is like...
Well, we should have bought him, mate. We should have bought him when he was at Norwich, 100%. He would have been perfect for us.
There's so many that we've missed out on, though, mate. In there, literally, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so
be interesting to see if we sign Maxi Gomez, because they're having trouble where he's at the moment, hasn't he? I can't remember where he's at again.
Valencia, mate. They're selling off their team.
Yeah, they're having finance problems, aren't they?
Mate, to be honest, I do think we need another striker. I don't think we can go into a season with just Allaire, Antonio, Sande Silva.
Thing is as well is Haller is on the cards that he might be going as well. So it is a tricky one, that one. Yeah, I just feel like we need the players to work together more. That was my only concern last season. Is I don't mind if we lose. I mean, obviously it's not a good feeling, but if we gave it everything and showed lots of passion, then you don't mind as much. But I found a few players like Haller, Anderson, Lanzini, they just got very moody and didn't show much passion. So Anderson had no reason to either, I don't think personally, because this last season he had such a good season. And he was our star player in that sense.
Yeah, it's tough, mate. I think we're in a weird position where Moyes obviously come in. I think he did give chances to people like Anderson and I don't think he fancied them. And it's going to be tricky. I think someone with Moyes' kind of mindset, he likes the same squad, the same team. I think it'll actually benefit us. I think if he gives the same players the same chances, we will just get better. But I think that'll be our only real positive going into the season. The level of consistency will improve because you can't have an up and down season like last time.
No. I was just looking at City actually. We've got City at home. I know we haven't got a crowd behind us, but you think City's got to travel down. That's a few hours, isn't it?
Wear them out.
They got absolutely battered in the Champions League the other night. And I think there might be something going on with Pep there. I think Pep and the players are having a bit of
yeah, he has that weird kind of meltdown, doesn't he? I think he gets to a point in the Champions League where he just says, "Oh, do you know what? I'm just going to switch it up." It's a bit like he's playing fantasy football. and he just wants to
Yeah,
kind of like
so
prove a
random. He just
point.
goes through all these random like little changes, and it's like, why are you sort of breaking something that already works?
Yeah, yeah. Mate, I've got a horrible feeling with City next season because I think they've brought Ake in, and I think
Yeah, that is a sick
that's a
signing.
solid signing, mate. Like I think him and Laporte are going to be one of the best centre back pairings in the league. I'm calling it quite early doors here.
That is, yeah, I don't know about that personally.
No,
I,
I mean,
I rate I rate Laporte. I think he's good. I think Ake in a couple seasons, but solid signing for him, like you said. Yeah,
yeah, I just think like I think most of the problems come with City through their centre backs. Like 100%, they just can't. I think Otamendi's got a real like aggressive streak in him where he sort of loses it. Fernandinho at centre back is obviously not his natural position. I just think when you've got two, players that are natural in that position, that are young, they're going to improve. I think maybe they'll strike on
especially working
something.
together. Yeah, yeah.
So
No, I see where you're coming from. Yeah, I personally think I hate to say it, Spurs have got very, very good defence, and Liverpool obviously. United as well. To be fair, United have started to. But anyway, I won't skip ahead. I think.
we'll talk. We'll talk about Harry Maguire, the fridge freezer soon. Don't worry.
Man City. At least we haven't got them first this time. Is all I can say because I went to the London Stadium, very hopeful, very optimistic, like all our West Ham fans are, and we got absolutely battered. I think it was it 5-0 last season.
Yeah, mate.
And I said, I walked out with my old man and I said, well, at least that's over. It's out of the way. And I think that's sort of what I felt for Leeds. If they do get battered, at least they got it out of the way.
Yeah, do you know what, mate? It's one of the things with Liverpool, Man City. They're so above like the level of the league at points. It becomes like it's a bit of a sort of
It's embarrassing to watch.
It's embarrassing to watch as a fan, but I think most fans like get it. They're like, this team is just a little bit too good for us. I mean, like you said earlier, I think it's about us putting a shift in this season. There will be games that we'll lose, but if we give it a good go, and don't throw it, I think we'll be happy with that.
We always turn up. This is my biggest problem with West Ham, right? I don't want to go off on a tangent too much because I know we've got to get through the fixtures. But we turn up against big clubs and play brilliantly. And I would say probably 60-70% of the time we win. When we want to, though, when we turn up, we go for it and we win. It's like I think we almost always get a nice cheeky point off Chelsea, if not a win. I know we didn't last season, but what annoys me is we go against people like Burnley and Palace, and we underestimate them. Especially last season with Palace, we lost. What was it, 2-1 or was it 2-1?
I think it was really dodgy against Palace because I think we lost.
VAR, yeah.
2-1 and then we lost 1-0 because IU scored a wonder goal at Selhurst Park. So,
like when we played Chelsea a couple seasons back, and Arnautovic scored that 7-minute goal, and we did get through it with the skin of our teeth. But we can turn up to these clubs. Spurs, prime example. Like West Ham always give it at Spurs. Well, like Antonio was sick that game last season, wasn't he?
Mate, it's quality. Good times. No, I agree with you, mate. I completely. I think most West Ham fans get the ump because we turn up for these games. I think particularly against Chelsea. I know Chelsea had a really dodgy defence, and obviously Rudiger's got a problem letting in Yarmolenko on his left. But I just think we turned up. I just think we fancied it. I think, and you saw particularly with the Chelsea game, when we got one goal, we were like, I'll tell you what, we can beat these lot. And the minute we think we can beat them, we inevitably put a little bit of a shift in and get a result. So it's an age-old problem, mate. Like West Ham, I think if West Ham were consistent to our ability, we wouldn't be anywhere near the relegation zone. It'd be 10th place or 9th place.
Yeah, mate. I mean, I am the most optimistic West Ham fan in the world. But it's like last season when we signed Anderson, Haller and stuff, I was like, like this season, Haller obviously, but wait, was it this season?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Ages ago now.
I remember saying to my old man again, I was like, Haller, like he's like the best player in the world. I was like, he's going to come in, we're going to win the league. I mean, I knew it wasn't that realistic, but I thought we might scrape like 5th place or something like that.
Yeah.
I know that is very optimistic, but you know, Man United, what have they done this season? Really, I mean, I know they did a lot better near the end, but at the start and mid, they've been rubbish. Pogba's been so inconsistent. Arsenal didn't do much, did they?
Yeah. Yeah, nice.
That is my only problem with West Ham is we show up to the big teams and then teams like Brighton. I hate Brighton because it's near where I live and all my mates support them. I get so much stick. They're our bogey team. We always lose against Brighton.
Yeah.
I remember when we lost 3-0 at London Stadium. I think it was the season before last or 2 seasons ago. Iscarrido scored 2 goals and he scored one from the outside of the box. It was unreal and I was right in front of it. And I just always know when we play Brighton, it's either going to be like a draw or a loss. And it's such a pessimistic thing for me because I always go in thinking this isn't going to be good.
Yeah, mate, I feel the same with like Burnley or Everton. Like, I just feel like with Burnley, every time we play them, like, we're just not going to turn up because we don't fancy it against a team that's going to be like defensively organised, will put us under pressure, that's physical. You just don't fancy it at all.
Burnley, in my opinion, is just one of those teams. Like, you can take them or leave them, but that is why we don't beat them. Is because we don't turn up to them and we just think, oh, it's Burnley. But like, you can't think like that.
It's completely an attitude thing. Like, it's so frustrating. You just want us to play to our ability. I don't know why West Ham seem to think we can just roll over certain teams. You know, we haven't really proven anything over the past couple of seasons. It's not really since that bowling season we've been up that end of the table. So, yeah, really frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not a lot of luck from October in a roundabout way. Don't think we're going to do too well. Maybe a couple of draws in there. I'd love us to beat Tottenham. I really, really would like us to go there and turn them
I would happily lose Leicester City and Liverpool. And if we beat Tottenham, that's fine.
Do you know what, mate? In fairness, I do think if we get a draw and a win out of those games, I don't think that's too bad a return. I don't like just off my head, but
what you got to think about it. What you got to think about it is you got Leicester, Tottenham, and Liverpool all away, and they're all out the way in October, and that's done. We got the rest of the season to gain the points against the lower teams.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I definitely think getting Manchester City and Liverpool out of October is brilliant, but I think because of the difficulty of the fixtures, I think we might end up in a situation where if we don't pick up anything from those games, we'll be bottom 3, the pressure will build, and knowing West Ham, we'll have to pick ourselves up for the games we should win, and if we don't start winning against Fulham, Sheffield United, or picking up points, the crowd's going to turn.
Yeah, definitely. I think as well, when we do go into November, sort of Fulham, definitely depends how they turn up at the start of the season because they want it, Fulham. They want it, and they've got a good squad.
Yeah.
I haven't actually looked at any of the other teams' fixtures yet properly. I just knew that Leeds. I knew that Leeds had Anfield away as first game. I do just want Liverpool to just absolutely demolish them. But we'll see.
Do you know what? Like, you touched on it with Fulham, and that. I think I was speaking to a Fulham fan the other day for the channel, and he was saying that obviously they come up last time, threw a lot of money at it, and kind of hoping something would stick. I think Scott Parker is a decent-ish manager to get him back first time. I think he comes up next season, and I think you'll see him adapt his game plan in a lot of games. I could see Fulham scraping safety, maybe.
Yeah, Scotty Parker, he's just at the wrong club, isn't he?
He's a legend, mate. He's a legend. But what I would say is let him get his learning in now, and then hopefully comes to West Ham and he's sweet.
Yeah, I'm good with that, definitely.
I think it's mental, isn't it? Because with someone like Scott Parker, it's probably similar to you. Like when growing up, he was a bit of a hero, like at the time, wasn't he? Because he was hammer of the year, 3 years running,
Scott
brilliant.
Parker, Kevin Nolan, all of them.
No, 100%, mate, 100%. So. Yeah, you look at November. I think Sheffield United away might be a tough fixture. It's never easy to go up there. I think they play some decent stuff.
I personally think that'd be a very boring game. I think that'd be a 0-0 draw.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I just got a weird feeling. I don't think there's going to happen that much. Sheffield again. Sheffield is sort of a team that I just think you sort of take them or leave them. I don't think they're that. all that really.
No.
Villa. I beg we beat Villa after that. Our last game of the season. I felt so bad for Bournemouth. Obviously, both of us going to uni there as well. We got a soft spot for Bournemouth. I don't think Bournemouth should have gone down, obviously, because of that whole VAR incident. But yeah, I don't know. I think we could get Villa. I think we could get Fulham. Because I think we'll realise if we've just had those hard 4, 5, 6 hard games.
That's my problem, mate. That's my issue. It's like, will we be in the right mindset to go and pick ourselves up against a Fulham? If Fulham are struggling like we are, maybe it might be a decent match.
If that's the case, we will beat them.
Yeah, no, easily.
100%.
I think the thing is with West Ham, we've obviously had a bad season, but we have got quality in attacking areas, and I think if you get them working, we will score goals. We haven't, I know we struggled later in the season, but we've got decent attacking talent, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so I mean, I think we'll do all right in November. I think we will. I think we'll obviously build back up. The beginning of December, now, Man United are home and Leeds away. Now, I think United, when we played them, I don't think United are all that at all. I think they have really good games against teams that will open up at the back and they've got pace to hurt you. But when we went up there at Old Trafford, our game plan was spot on. Like, we sat very deep. We pressed De Gea and those really poor back two with Maguire and Lindelof, and we had a little bit of success. And I think, I think we can give him a game at home, 100%.
I think with Antonio and the likes of Bowen just properly pressing them, I think we'll get a result there.
I think they'll struggle. I think United clearly have got issues at the back. Like, when you watched them in the Europa League against Sevilla, their fullbacks, particularly with someone like Brandon Williams, he was getting pulled apart by Bowen. So he was getting pulled apart.
Mate, how didn't he get? I don't think he even got booked that game, and the amount of fouls he did on him was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, it was actually, like, I was fuming. I was getting so wound up on that game. And when Pogba did the bloody like that, and then pretended he got hit by the head, I was going to bloody drive up to him and just hit him. He was doing my head in. And then he had to go and do. He scored. Did he score? He got the assist. He got a good assist.
I can't remember. I don't think it was a great goal. I think it was a nice bit of passing play. And I think Greenwood just smashed it. It was a good finish. But
I think he assisted it or something. And I said to my dad, I knew he'd do that. I said he will either assist it or score it.
Yeah,
that was a decent result, mate. 1-1.
I think it was, mate. I think we definitely saw a little change in the way we played as well. Like, normally we were playing very a counter-attack style football, but I actually think we passed the ball around quite well. We kept possession.
We were up for it. We were definitely up for it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, 100%.
That's the problem. That's if we turned up and were up for it against like teams like Palace, Sheffield United, like we've just been saying, we would be a lot. I know that sound is such a like sort of cliche and it's obvious, but we would be a lot higher up the table.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, you play against United, and my mate was like, "Oh, you only came for the draw." I was like, "Yeah," and we didn't care at all. We played some decent stuff,
and we were safe.
Yeah, we were safe. They didn't threaten us. They didn't threaten us at home either. I think, talking about United as a club, yes, they've got brilliant attacking talent. I think, Martial's top draw when he's on form. But listen, I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's that a great manager. And to be honest, I don't think unless they hit a run of form again, they'll do well again next season, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I think Leeds away. I'm sorry, mate. I think Leeds away is going to be a tough one. I do think that's going to be a tough one. I think they'll be up for it.
They'll definitely be up for it. Two very sort of proud clubs. Leeds coming into the Prem. I hate to say it, I think Leeds are going to do really well this season. I reckon they might even finish top half. It's a bold statement, but I think they might do bits because they've just been waiting for it, haven't they? And now they finally got it. They're going to be so up for it, like so much more than like Fulham and even West Brom, mate. I think West Brom are a decent side, but they're losing Grady Diangana, and he's essentially been their best player this season, hasn't he, really?
Yeah, definitely top 3 for them. Yeah, 100%. Like, I think Leeds, I've got Leeds to finish top 10 because I've watched them a little bit, I think they're going to cause some teams some serious issues. Like, they could cause us a lot of issues because of the way they attack. And, I think Bielsa plays a brilliant style of football. And I think what we saw this season with someone like Chris Wilder at Sheffield United, you start switching it up a little bit and tactically you're a little bit more astute than just sort of parking the bus. Teams kind of don't expect it. There's an element of surprise, and they'll get goals. They'll concede goals, but they will get goals next season.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that.
Yeah, and then we've got Palace. Palace is such a weird team because at the moment it seems like they don't really fancy moving up the table, but they're not going to get relegated. They're kind of in that weird limbo land. I mean, what do you think about Palace? Yeah. It's just weird, isn't it, mate?
First thing I'll say is I absolutely hate Zaha.
Okay.
I won't swear. I mean, he is a wicked player, but his attitude just winds me up. I think he's so moody. They've got Kouyaté, they've got Tompkins, both from us. I don't know, mate. I think Palace. On paper, we should destroy Palace. I think.
Really? See, I don't think. No, I don't think that at all. Because Palace, right? No. Kind of like one of those teams where. I'll take that. No. I'll retract my point. I'll take your point. On paper, we should beat them, but because I know Palace so well in that Hodgson style of play, we never seem to get into our rhythm against them. They're so organised. We can't create chances. We don't get shots on goal. We just struggle all the time.
I think, I do think Kouyaté does a lot for him. I think Tompkins does a lot for him. It's at home. But doesn't
maybe.
I think we could get a draw there quite easily. At home, I think we'll get a draw quite easily, personally, if not a win.
Yeah,
I think from last season, I don't think the players will want to get mugged off again because we were so unlucky that game, and I think we'll be up for it for that one, especially if we've just had Man United and Leeds.
Yeah, that's the thing, mate. Like, it's a little bit of a banana skin because I kind of look at it and think if we don't get a result against Manchester United or Leeds, Palace is that team in it to sort of stick the boot in and get a 1-0 in the 90th minute, and I just don't fancy us getting Jordan Ayew again. It can't happen.
I think that'll be quite a heavy goal game, West Ham Palace.
Really? I don't know. Like, Moyes and Hodgson are two really defensive-minded managers. Like, of course, like we can talk about it now, but ultimately we don't know where we'll be in the league. That obviously changes the way teams set up. I feel Palace won't do brilliantly next season. I think they'll struggle a little bit, so they could come to us and sort of just sit really, really deep, and hopefully they'll get a chance or two.
I reckon they might be sort of. I don't think they'll get relegated, but I don't think they're going to do much more.
Nah. I don't think that suggests that either. I think Zaha might leave. I think he's trying to leave as well. If they get a decent amount of money for him.
If they lose Zaha, we'll beat them. That's my claim now. I'll tell you that now. If they lose Zaha, we will win.
Yeah, what? It's not a bad shout. I don't think they're great going forward. Obviously, Zaha is the main man for them in terms of creating chances and supporting the attack. I think if potentially as well they could have some injuries going into the game. I just don't think they've got enough to threaten us too much. But I wouldn't rule out a Palace 1-0 because it's just know what they're like.
Yeah, no, they are. Palace is another one we always sort of struggle on, don't we?
Yeah, not nice. And then we've got one that we always do well on, Chelsea away against Fat Frank. Hopefully, do you know what? I fancy us. I really, really do. I know they've had a couple of reinforcements with Timo Werner and Ziyech as well. But you never write West Ham off in a London derby.
I think their signings are sick. Not going to lie. Don't know. It just depends, doesn't it? We hope and pray that Declan isn't going there. I don't think he will. I honestly, everyone's putting it all over Twitter, and I feel quite relaxed about it. I don't think he's going to go there. I fancy us against Chelsea. They've got rid of Willian, and I sort of think why are they getting rid of Willian? Did he want to leave? Do you know? Or did he?
I don't know, because Chelsea got a weird policy, didn't they? They're like, they don't like people when you get over 30, they only offer you a year, and obviously Arsenal were offering him 3, so he probably just.
He's on like 3 years, getting an absurd amount of money a week. My housemate's a Chelsea fan, And he was like, yeah, he's like 308 and he's getting like 200 grand a week or so, or whatever it is. And he was like, there's no way he's going to do anything at Arsenal. But we'll have to see, won't we?
Yeah, I think for me, Chelsea are obviously in the attacking sense have improved. You know, they're brilliant. I think Timo Werner's going to do brilliantly in the league. I can see him getting 20 plus goals, just because of the way Chelsea play.
Yeah, I can see that as well. I think that's an amazing signing. And then they've got the likes of like Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah.
They're all hungry for it. Especially they're both injured, weren't they, last season?
Yeah, exactly, mate. But I just think Chelsea's defence, unless they address it, they're going to get undone by a few teams because I just think you've got Christensen, Zuma. They never really.
Zuma needs to go. I watched him.
No. I think Christensen. If I'm a Chelsea fan, Christensen needs to go for me. I just don't see what he offers. You know, he has one good game and then he struggles in the next. So, yeah, I don't know about him.
I went with a mate to the Stamford Bridge last season. We lost. I can't remember. I remember it was when Hazard scored 2 goals. I think it might have just been 2-0. But yeah, they were just all over us. But Zuma, he needs to go. I watched him a few times, Chelsea, and I think he's the problem.
I tend to agree, Matt. I think Fat Frank likes him to play out from the back, and I don't think he's got the centre backs to do it with at the moment. Like even with you talk about Tomori coming in, Tomori was in and out of the team all season, so he hasn't really settled on a back two. So listen, I think they're weak there. I think we could get him with an Antonio in between the two centre backs.
Antonio and Bowen pressing, and even Anderson. That's what I think we need to talk about on another, because we could go on for hours about this. I reckon we need to have a chat about Anderson and Haller and talking about their attitudes, because I think when Anderson plays, he's unreal. When he turns up, he is unreal. But yeah, I think the league is scaring him a bit because he's not that used to the league, and so he's still a little bit like he's still almost like trying to find his place in it. But having said that, he still had some brilliant games this season. Didn't stand out anywhere near as much as last season, but
yeah, it's a tricky one, mate, because West Ham did their season review the other day on YouTube. You watch it, early doors, Anderson's pivotal to a lot of the attacking play. I'm sure there's like loads of stats to back that up, but I saw him and he's involved in most of the attacking side of the game.
I saw that on your Twitter feed. That was really interesting read, actually.
Yeah, 100%. So we know he can do it, and I don't know what's happened. I mean, I think Moyes wants him to be a little bit more defensive than Pellegrini asked him to. Obviously, I think with Pellegrini, he didn't have the money to bring in the left back that he needed, and so Anderson tended to sort of tuck in. But for me, you play Anderson number 10 because if you give him the freedom, I think he hurts a lot. His dribbling's top draw, mate. It really is.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think, like you say, could do another video, but I'd like to see him in a number 10 next season just to kind of give him a new lease of life.
I think Lanzini will go as well, won't he? So.
Yeah, no, we'll see, mate. Listen, I don't even know if we'll bring that many players in. You could see someone like Lanzini stay just to keep the numbers up.
If we get Eze and Maxi Gomez, we will be ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I think Eze is a different class, mate. I think he's a perfect player for us. Really is, 100%.
He wants to come to us as well. He wants to come to us.
Well, this is the thing, mate. Like you've got Jordan Hugill that played at QPR last season, got 15 goals. Now, I don't understand why we're not trying to use him in a swap deal and offer 10, 12 million to try and get him over to us. We're wasting too much time. We wait any longer, especially when the season gets going. You bring Eze in. You're asking him then to sort of transition into a new league whilst it's like fully going. And if we're playing Man City at home or Liverpool, it's going to be tough for him.
It'd be brilliant if we can get him. If we can get him and get him training with the team, and then against Newcastle, he'll be up for it.
Yeah, mate. I just tend to think that the earlier you get transfers in, the better it is for the whole squad. So let's hope we don't leave it too much later because it's going to give me the ump. Brighton and Southampton. Now, I fancy us against Southampton. I don't think Southampton tend to not really turn up against us. We've had some great results against them recently.
I agree with that. Season before, season just gone, we beat them 3-0 last game of the season, didn't we? We won 3-0. I won 600 quid on that game. I had a free bet with Betway, It's my old man's account, and he didn't know he had it. And I was like, right, I'm just going to put for 50 quid. It was a 50 quid free bet on 3-0 on 600 quid. I personally think, sorry, I went off topic there. I just wanted to throw that in.
Just tell everyone about the bet you got.
Southampton, I think Southampton are going to do really well next season. I think they'll be top 10 finish. But, like you said, we're almost like their bogey team. Us and Arsenal, they tend to just can't suss us out. I think Southampton win. I think Brighton, with us at home, win. And I think that'll be a good end to the year. I'm definitely going to try and go. I'm going to get tickets to Brighton if we're allowed to.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. It'd be great if we could get in there for Boxing Day.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. But yeah, I think we got Brighton. I think in December, United draw, Leeds draw or loss, Palace. I'm going to be optimistic and say win. Chelsea draw or win, Brighton win, Southampton draw. Because I think I would have said last season Southampton win, but I think they're starting to work now. They're starting to click. And now they've got rid of Højbjerg. They've got a bit of money to play with.
Yeah, mate, I'm with you on the Southampton train. I think Hasenhüttl's got them working really well now. I think they gave him a really long deal. He's been given a little bit more control at the club. Their pressing's unbelievable. You know, when I watched them against Manchester City, they caused some teams some real issues, despite not having, you know, the amount of attacking talent that perhaps he wants. I think Danny Ings is one of the best strikers in the league for finishing. Yeah. I just think the bloke there's some ridiculous stat. You can look it up where he's had from like 20 odd shots, he's scored nearly like 19 or 18 goals. And when you've got a player like that in your side, you'll win games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, looking at it, December, I think it could go either way, to be honest with you. I mean, I would hope that we could pull off a good result against the Chelsea. And I think that could see us into a couple of wins, maybe against Brighton and Southampton. I'd like to see us at least draw against Brighton, because I think it all adds up, mate. You know, we saw this season, you know, you don't get those results against the teams you should be beating, even if it's just a point. You know, you leave it longer and longer, the more stressed out we get. So hopefully we kind of turn up.
I look at December and I think that's a nice month. I think the games are jam-packed. If we get in our rhythm and in our form, there's no reason we can't win all of them. And I know everyone's going to think, oh, what is he on about? But it's true. Like United, we can beat United. They aren't all that. Leeds, they might get cocky and then think, oh, it's West Ham, and then we show up. Palace,
maybe. At least
Chelsea,
a draw. At least a draw.
Chelsea, we always turn up at Chelsea, but yeah, I think that'll still be a hard game. And then Brighton and Southampton, I think, Brighton I think we'll get, and I think Southampton will be a draw. Or a win. I don't think we'll lose to them.
See, I don't know. Like, I'm not massively convinced. I think it could be a bit of an up and down month. I think we'll get some decent results to kind of get those points on the board. I think we could lose a couple of games in there. I actually think, looking at January, I think we've got a better chance. You look at it, and you've got Everton. Now, I think a lot of this depends on Everton's transfer window. They were so poor when they come back. Really shocking. You know, they don't create a lot of attacking chances. Richarlison's their main outlet. I think once you take him out of the game, they struggle. They really do struggle.
I think Richarlison is a very good player. I think that is a brilliant signing for them. But I don't know. He just hasn't really. He's scored quite a few goals, hasn't he, this season? But he's not like. I don't know. I don't think he's living up to that massive name that Everton gave him. And I don't know if he's working that well with Ancelotti. I don't know if they're sort of rubbing together well.
It's an odd one, mate, isn't it? Because you've got, like, Ancelotti likes to play quite defensive. Obviously, his teams are really organised. And I think Richarlison actually benefits from someone playing with him when he was at Watford. And he had the likes of Troy Deeney, you know, someone helping him out. I think he just thrives, and he can get on the end of balls, and he's got good finishing as well.
Yeah. I don't know why. I just hate Everton. They're my least favourite team in the Prem. I don't know why it is. I just dislike them so much. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly can't even tell you what it is, mate. It's the same with my dad. We've always just had it. We just don't like Everton. I think they're a bit of a bogey team for us. I think we always sort of get a bad result against Everton, and we just sort of sort of let them off almost. I don't know how to explain it. I don't think we'll do well against Everton. I don't know. I always have a bad gut feeling about it.
Nah, I don't know, mate. I'm optimistic a little bit. I think we can get at least a draw up there. I think depends. Obviously, depends on the window. They're looking at Decore. If they think they bring him in and their midfield becomes a little bit more mobile, I think we could struggle. But West Brom at home and Burnley at home, I think if we go and beat West Brom convincingly and we bring that into the Burnley game, 6 points, mate. It's quality.
Yeah, agreed. Definitely agreed with that. Yeah, not much more to say about that. I think, as I said to you, I think West Brom will struggle a bit with Grady gone.
Yeah, I think they've managed to get. I think it's Pereira's signed permanently. I think that's a brilliant signing for him. A lot of the creative stuff comes through him, but
they've in that sense they've only got 1, 2, 3, 4 months, and September's half a month. So you've got three and a half months to understand a squad that's just come up to the Prem and playing Premier League football.
How
long haven't they been in the Prem? What, like 8 years?
I think it's like no, I don't think it's that long. I think it's like maybe 2. I think 2 or 3.
Yeah, but they were only in for like a season, weren't they, or like 2 seasons?
I don't know, mate. Look, they were a bit.
I can't remember. Have I just made a massive claim?
No, I don't think it's 8 years. That's nearly Leeds standard. No, I think it's 2 or 3.
But I don't think they haven't stayed for like longer than a season. I don't think.
No, they have. They stayed for a little bit longer. I think they struggled. Don't get me wrong, for a long time, and I think they brought in Hodgson did a good job before he went to England, and then they brought in Pulis, and obviously don't play amazing football, but you stay in the league with him.
I think I'm getting confused with Wigan, mate. I always get West Brom and Wigan confused in my head.
Wigan's elite tin pot club. I can't stand Wigan, to be honest with you, mate. That's just
no one does.
Not for me. But yeah, no, I mean they're winnable games. Palace away again. I never really know which way it's going to go. I think we can beat them on paper, but you just never know with them. Liverpool at home. Now Liverpool at home, we tend to turn up. We do tend to turn up against them.
Yeah, we fancy it. We fancy it against Liverpool when we're at home. Yeah. It just depends. It's so hard to predict now for a January game. If like Liverpool, I think will win next season. I've got a feeling they'll win next season.
Really?
I do rate them. I think it would be. Yeah, I don't even know, mate. It's so hard to predict. I always find it hard to predict until like the first game, and then I have that like, right, that's going to happen. I think this is going to happen.
Yeah.
I knew Liverpool would win last season. I said it. I called it. And City had a decent season, obviously, but they weren't to their usual standard at all. We'll have to see. If City turn up and play how they can, I think Liverpool will sort of worry a bit and get a bit scared and might start. I don't know. I might be chatting sort of out my mouth, but
I think City win next year. I just think they come back. They sort their defensive issues out. I think David Silva leaving gives a chance for Phil Foden to come in, and I think he's a quality player. I think that those players as well will be a little bit scorned by that gap between them and Liverpool. They'll want to get it back at least. So I think,
with Ake, like you said, with Ake and Laporte as well, they'll be a solid link. I can see that happening. I don't know. I just do rate Virgil van Dijk so much that I just think he's unreal.
I don't know, mate. It's an interesting point you make about Liverpool, but I just think they'll run out of puff. But if they bring in Thiago, I think that's another level because that bloke is unbelievable. I think he suits the league amazingly well. What a clever player.
Thing is, though, if Liverpool win twice in a row, we are never, ever going to hear the end of it. Like, it will literally be everywhere you walk.
Yeah, no, it drags, mate. Liverpool are one of those teams where I think they need to get a few players in, really, just for squad depth. Like, I always feel with them, they're one injury off of losing a player. But the beauty about someone like Jurgen Klopp is he seems to get everyone on board. He can slot someone in like a Milner at left back, does a job, Definitely. And they still win. So, yeah, I'm not sure, mate.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so...
Yeah. I think we'll lose. being pessimistic, I think Liverpool will absolutely destroy us.
Really?
Yeah. Don't know. I just do. I love watching them play, mate. I think they're like it's odd. Everyone sort of says how they hate Liverpool. I don't really mind them that much. I like Liverpool. Well, I don't like them. I don't like their fans because they do my nutting. But I think they play amazing football, don't they?
Yeah.
I think they've got such a nice squad, like Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, and then you've got Salah up top. It's Firmino. They're all just ridiculous.
Mane, unreal.
Mane, yeah. How could It's just any of their squad, mate. Any of their squad is sick.
I think the thing is with Liverpool, like people say that City play the better football. I'm not convinced. I actually prefer watching Liverpool play football.
Right, exactly the same as that.
Good. Like the fullbacks are unbelievable. Like Alexander-Arnold and Robertson are just like their delivery, like how much they contribute going forward, and they can get back and defend as well. I think they're top draw, mate.
Yeah, their squad is just ridiculous. But Villa Fulham, I think 2 wins. Short and sweet, 2 wins.
I think we'll struggle against Villa away. I've got to be honest. I don't know why. I just feel like we might struggle a little bit. I don't think Villa will do well next season, if I'm honest. I think if they lose someone like Jack Grealish, a lot of their attacking play goes out because that bloke is running it for them at the moment.
I don't think. Yeah, that's exactly what I think, but I don't think he'll go. I think he's got another season or 2 still at Villa. I can see what you mean. But other than if Grealish has an off day, mate, he's there. I don't think that.
Yeah, there's not too much to bother.
There's nothing really there, is there?
Yeah. It's an odd one, mate. Villa's such a weird one because like clearly they've got money. They brought in a lot of players last time round, but I don't know whether I think they need to bring in like another striker or 2 for me to feel a bit, on edge about them. Like I just can't see them scoring many goals.
I think that's a bit like Everton. Like Everton they spent more than us in the transfer window last year, didn't they?
Yeah, a lot of money, mate. A hell of a lot of money.
And they've what have they done really? Like not that much.
Nah, I think they've got the right idea. They brought in Moise Kean from Juve, and obviously he had a good record over there, but he just hasn't taken to the league. And the problem is with someone like Everton is they chop and change way too much. Like for them to do well next season, they need Ancelotti to get rid of the Deadwood and have a full season with the squad that he wants. And then even then they might not do amazingly well.
They need a fresh young squad, I think.
Yeah, no, I think got like Gylfi Sigurdsson still there, and I just think he's not mobile enough as a centre midfielder at all. More of a cam, to be honest.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So, I don't know, mate. I've got a real problem here with the Sheffield United and Tottenham because I think both of those teams will come to the London Stadium and sit really deep. And the issue with those teams is you've obviously got Sheffield United and their wing backs attack you at pace, and they could get you on the counter. Obviously, Tottenham, a lot of the play goes through Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, Bergwijn when he's fit. If they're all fit, I can see Mourinho coming to us and just sitting really deep and hoping we kind of expose ourselves at the back.
Yeah, I'm literally thought the exact same, to be honest. As I said, I think Sheffield United are a bit of a bogey team. We should have beat them last season, but obviously VAR was against us with that. Was it Declan Rice handball?
Well, it just wasn't handball, was it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Spurs, I think we'll get Spurs, personally. I think we'll beat Spurs. I see what you're saying about Villa, and I think a draw would be a very good result, having thought back. But depends if Grealish turns up. If Grealish isn't turned up, like you said, we haven't got much. Fulham, I think we'll get. Sheffield United, I can't. Those 2 are hard to call. I think. Just
can't. Yeah. I'm looking at those fixtures now. Sheffield United, Tottenham, Man City away.
They're not nice together, are they? Those 3 fixtures: Sheffield and Tottenham at home, and then City away. They're not 3 nice fixtures together.
But mate, it's not even just that. Like, if you look into the next month, you've got Leeds at home, United away, Arsenal at home. Those aren't nice fixtures at all to be on a consecutive run.
No.
You'd have to get points against Sheffield and Tottenham. Like, if I was Moyes, you'd have to be aiming for those games. Leeds, definitely. Because I think a few of those in there, I think United, despite us doing well last time, it is really difficult to get a result up there. I'm not being funny, but either the VAR works against you or something happens where you just don't get the rub of the green. It's really hard.
Yeah, I think Sheffield United draw. Nah, Sheffield United, I reckon we'll lose to. I reckon we'll get Spurs, but I see what you're saying about Mourinho making them sit deep. City, we'll just pass over that.
Yeah, City away. City away is the one fixture you just go, no chance, mate.
Leeds at home in March, I think
Possible.
should get a draw at least. United away, all just depends on what they're doing with Pogba and what's going on with him.
Arsenal, yeah. Arsenal's a tough one, mate, as well. Like, to be fair,
Arsenal, we sometimes get a cheeky result off.
We do, but then at the same time, like when we played up there last time at the Emirates, we played really well, and we didn't take our chances, and they can just hurt you. They've just got players to do it.
Yeah, we weren't. What's the word for it? Weren't like cynical enough.
Yeah, no, we were. Yeah, mate, we just didn't take our chances and finish when we should have done. I think I just worry for us, particularly if we don't get results against. I mean, saying that, we probably get a result against Fulham. I think we've just got to get our points early doors in Feb, and then if we don't get a rubber degree in March, we can kind of look forward and still be all right.
I think we'll do all right in January. I think January, West Brom, Burnley, and Palace.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
that's 3 in a row. That looking back, we could get. Palace is such a hard team for me to call against. I think because I just think we're so up and down and inconsistent with Palace. They're just a hard team, a weird team to play against. But then, coming into March, we've got Leeds at home. I think, draw. United away.
It's tough.
So hard to call when the season hasn't started yet. So if we said it in October, I reckon we'd have a much better grasp.
Yeah. The problem is, I would at least like results. I just have to account for the West Ham factor. Like just if you're West Ham, you just tend to not turn up for certain games. So I just look at games and go, I don't know. Like I can see this doing well, but not getting the goals. Other games we just don't turn up. It's really hard, mate.
I think Arsenal at home. I think we could have that. I think that would be a good. I reckon we could get that.
Maybe.
It's optimistic, I know, but. Depends as well if Aubameyang goes.
I think he'll stay. By the way, I think for some reason, I just think they've offered him the money.
Yeah, he hasn't really got any reason to leave. He's like he's their boy, isn't he? He's like one of the top scorers in the Prem.
Yeah, and I think he obviously sees a bit of a project with Arteta as well. I think he will go, in fairness, if someone like a Bayern or a Madrid come in for him, but he's a bit old. Obviously Arsenal would ask for a decent whack of money for him as well, given the goals he scores. So I think
I reckon I could see him going to Bayern over Madrid personally.
I don't think, mate. Honestly, the way the amount of players that Bayern buy on those left wings, I just think they just wouldn't even look. They got Sane coming in next season. They're going to be a horrible team in that Champions League.
It's going to be ridiculous. Yeah.
Well, him and Gnabry is just disgusting, and obviously if Lewandowski.
Did you see his goal the other night?
Yeah, insane player, unbelievable player. Just love it. He's so comfortable as well. Like he can play that wing position, but he's happy to cut in as well. And he takes so many players on, and he's got that finishing ability, which I think a lot of wingers now need.
Yeah, I think he's unreal. After watching him the other night, he's just sick. He's so good.
No, he's top draw, mate. April. I don't know. April. Possibly. I mean, I watched us play Leicester at home. And they put out their second string team and we struggled. But again, I don't know where we'll be at by that stage. I think if we're near top 10, we can give them a good game. I think they've got weaknesses we can exploit. So I wouldn't rule that game out. I think a draw is a good result, to be honest, against both Wolves and Leicester.
Yeah, I'm a bit pessimistic. I think Wolves. Good to get a draw because it's away. I think Leicester. I can't call them. I know I'm saying that on all of them. I'm saying them all.
You can't call any of them.
Yeah, I can't. I honestly can't. But I do don't. Like you said, they got Maddison, they got Vardy, and they got Ndidi. Who else have they got?
Harvey Barnes is a good player for them.
Is he though? Like he's good.
Nah, he's good. He'll get better. Tielemans as well. It's quite
Oh
good.
yeah, he's decent.
They got players, mate. They'll.
Yeah,
I think the things with Leicester as well. Like I think Chilwell's off. If they get
yeah,
60 million, 70 million for Chilwell, they'll
yeah.
reinvest that really well. So you just never know.
I think he's going to go like straight away. I think as soon as he can, he'll go.
They
But
reckon
yeah,
they reckon he's off, don't they, mate? They reckon he's at Chelsea next week or the week after.
really.
Yep. Nah, serious.
When was that announced?
But it weren't announced, but X reckons that
All right.
yeah. Secret sources. Nah, to be fair, it's good for us though, because if Chelsea buy him for 60, 70 mil and they're going to try and buy Havertz still, they ain't got the money for Rice. Otherwise, I'd be seriously questioning the FFP with them.
I don't think he's going anyway, mate. I Declan Rice, I don't really see why he doesn't like Chelsea, does he? Because they
I don't know. It's a difficult one. Yeah, I think there is that, but then I think you see pictures of him with like JT and like,
mate, when I saw that, I literally wanted to cry.
But he does. But like even in with like Drogba, and he's obviously best mates with Mason Mount. I think it's tough. Like obviously, I think his family are Chelsea, and I think that has a massive sway on things. But what I would say is, even if he does leave, I don't think he'll leave under a cloud. I think he'll do it properly, which is at least what we want.
We'll just have to see. I think we've got him for another season at least, personally.
So do I. I don't think he leaves for a season.
And then I think if we do well this season with him and he'll get the recognition, I think he will want to stay. And I reckon he could be Mr. West Ham when Noble hangs up his boots.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one to kind of keep our eye on. I mean, Chelsea will obviously win that. Double over Fat Frank again would be nice. Now I think it'd be tough, but I think Chelsea different proposition this year.
I think we've got that. Newcastle, Newcastle. I reckon that'll be a draw.
I think we'll beat them. I think we're unlucky not to beat them last time. I think a little bit of lax defending. You'd hope we go up there this season. You know, probably a full year under David Moyes by that stage. You would think we would have switched on a little bit to some of those mistakes and turn those draws into 3 points. So I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, Chelsea. Yeah, like you said, it'd be brilliant to get a double over Frank, but.
And then we come to May. I think May's our best month. If I'm perfectly honest, I think there's a lot of teams in there that I fancy us to beat. I think Everton at home we could beat. We always tend to have problems against Burnley, but I just think if we've had a good season, and like we say, it's all up to loads of caveats here. But if we've had a good season, I think we can potentially beat those teams. And I think if we get on a run of form, particularly towards the end, you know what West Ham are like. We turn up right at the end and start building and building. So,
I think with Burnley, like I said, I think we'll get Chelsea, and then I think we'll have the confidence. Then we'll go into Burnley. I reckon we could get Burnley away. Everton at home. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's tough. Like it is tough, but I've just got a real good feeling about particularly the last two fixtures. Possibly even the Brighton game. I mean,
my only reservation with that is if we lose the Everton game, we'll go into Brighton being disheartened, and Brighton will win.
Yeah.
West Brom, I think we'll beat Southampton at home. I'm pretty certain on that.
I don't think we'll lose. I don't think we'll lose against Southampton, if I'm honest.
Same with West Brom though. I don't think it depends. I keep saying it depends, but it does. It depends on what how they're doing in the league.
Yeah. No, mate, a lot of it depends on the recruitment as well. Like we just don't know who these teams are gonna, what players they're gonna bring in and what they'll look like. I think the only problem I've got maybe in May is I don't think we'll be competing for Europa League places. So if we are safe by April, I'm slightly concerned we might just go to the beach, put our flip flops on, and just say, yeah, let's just wait till next season.
Yeah. Nice. I think overall, mate, I think it's quite a nice fixture list. I know we said before we started that we both had a quick look. I saw the first fixture, Newcastle, and I saw Arsenal. I was like, I saw Wolves. I was like, oh, that's all right. And then I saw October, and I was like, we'll get them out of the way. We'll get them out of the way. We could get points, mate. Like we said, we could get points against Leicester. We can get points against Tottenham.
Yeah.
I can't see it happening against City and Liverpool looking back on it now. But then November, I think November we've got a really nice month. I think November and like you said, May probably our easiest months.
Yeah, you've got a good point, mate. Like, I think there are months, obviously, like November and May, where I think we've got a good run of fixtures. But looking at it now, albeit there are some tricky fixtures in there, I think we could pick up a run of form, and I think there could be games where we pick up maybe 2-3 wins a month if we're on good form. And I think that the whole outlook for that season, particularly in those fixtures, if we get 9 points, for example, could change our season, and we could go into the tougher fixtures with a little bit more form.
I think as well, if we go into November after say we get battered by City and Liverpool, we'll turn up at Fulham. Then I think we'll start to unpick Sheffield. And then Villa, I think at home, I think we should get Villa.
Yeah.
And then that will give us the confidence to go against United and we'll turn up against them.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's very much up to how we play in the sort of the fixtures that we should win. And then I think sort of the months where you've got some tough teams with some teams that we should beat, that will carry us through. But you can never write West Ham off, mate. I think there will be fixtures we'll get the odd draw, the odd win. I'd love us to beat Tottenham. I think we will turn up against Tottenham twice. So, yeah, we could be looking at maybe 4 points if we have a good season from those games. So, I don't know, mate. It's not as bad as I thought it was. I was slightly concerned at one point, but I think we've got some winnable games, and I think we've got an opportunity to pick up some form.
I think where you just sort of briefly looked over it, you saw October and you thought, shit.
100%. Yeah. They completely bottled it, mate. I was like, nah, I don't know.
I don't blame you, mate. I don't blame you. But my way of looking at it is get in there early, get them out of the way, and then we can move on.
Yeah. A lot of it's to do with like bounce back ability. Like I think if we as a fan base accept that those fixtures in October we're going to struggle potentially on. Obviously, I think without the fans it might help the squad. I think they kind of will look at it and say, listen, don't worry too much about it. My only concern is with someone like David Moyes, when he comes up against these big teams, occasionally it looks like he kind of just accepts defeat and tries to sort of minimise how many goals the other team score. And I just think for morale, it's a bit of a dodgy sort of approach to go into a game with.
Yeah, I do see where you're coming from with that, but at the same time, I do think we get behind the squad. I do think if we were there for Leicester away, I think we would get behind the boys, and I think we would help them get a win.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. Leicester's such a. I really can't. That's really hard to sort of pinpoint what I think will happen. Because I've just like slagged their team off.
Yeah, you don't rate them at all, mate. You reckon we're better than them on paper?
Yeah, like they've only got Vardy and Didi and that, but like Maddison, they got Maddison as well, and I forget. Oh shit, I got Maddison, and then got this, and then you're like, oh, maybe I do retract what I've said, but at the same time, I do stand by it because I think Leicester just play really good football as a team, but I don't think, other than Maddison, other than Vardy, but even Vardy's hit and miss now and then, isn't he? He isn't always that consistent.
I don't know. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like he has these like spells of form where he just doesn't score for a while, but then he gets one goal and he just scores.
And then he just bangs it like it's nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know, mate. I think. Yeah, if we beat Leicester in October, we'll beat Spurs.
Yeah, I would go along with that. I think that's a good point.
So, Corey, looking at the fixtures, where do you think we're going to finish next season?
I've done my prediction. Before I looked at it, because obviously I didn't know the fixtures, I had us 14th just because I thought. I don't think we'll get enough decent recruitment in. I think the fullbacks will still be an issue. I think there'll be games that we just struggle against a team like a Burnley or an Everton will have a one-off. Looking at it now, I think we could push maybe mid-table just because I think we've got some favourable fixtures where we can get a run of form, pick up some points, maybe get the odd result and the odd surprise. It's a tough one, mate. Like I think if we actually address the areas that we were struggling, I think I'd be more comfortable in saying mid-table, but you just don't know. You just don't know at all.
I reckon we'll get 13th or 12th, but just depends on October, because I think October is the month which will determine whether we're gonna have the confidence or not.
Yeah, and it's as well. It's with the board, isn't it? You know, if Moisey's struggling and we go into November and continue to struggle, you know, how long are they going to keep with him? You know, we've seen they're a bit trigger happy with someone like Pellegrini, albeit he was doing very bad. I would like to see him stick with him though, because I do think Moyes benefits from having, you know, continuity and consistency with his playing squad. And I think chopping and changing for us all the time is dangerous in this league.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting season, mate. I think we're going to do better than we did this season. But I pray we do. But
I think we will. I think we'll do better. I do think we'll do better than last season. Yeah. So we're like, right, that was Max's take. Thanks, Max. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thanks very much. Sorry, everyone, that I thought West Brom hadn't been in the Prem for 8 years. I'm quite out of it. I'm not going to lie. I'm very tired.
Fuming. You've wound them up now, mate. Bit of needle going into that game.
I'm going to get so much stick for that, aren't I? But I don't care.
Nice.
We'll beat West Brom anyway, so it's calm, and then I'll just prove that they shouldn't be in the Prem.
Nice one, fella. I'll get you back on throughout the season. Obviously, we're going to do a post-match show, so definitely you'll be one of the ones to come back on and share your opinion about West Brom.
Sweet. Cheers, mate. Pleasure to be here.
All right.
Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons. Until next time, take care.